Guys, so in November 6, 2018, the United States of America is going to have another round of midterm election. And we actually see today in West Union that we already have this early voting process for the primary. But do you know that just 4 years ago, for the last midterm election, the youth turnout was abysmally low, only 18%. It means that for every 5 of you young people here, sitting here, only 1 of you showed up in the voting poll, if you were eligible. It was really bad. So I'm James, and this is Noah. This is our project, Making Young Voters. So this presentation is going to be 3 parts: the background, the survey we conducted, and the demo that we designed. So first, among peer countries, we see United States has the largest age gap in voter turnout. And what's more important is that, as you can see, the young people are consistently underrepresented at the poll. And you can see the 2014 result in here. So very, very low. And they are like 20 to 30% consistently underrepresented than the largest age group, than the oldest age group, 60 above. It means very important things. If you think about it, if the goal of the election in a democracy is to a public opinion voting poll to see what's people's opinion on the policy making, and our young voters, the largest demographic, age 18 to 29, are consistently underrepresented, then our country is left with an inadequate foundation for the policy making. So we need to do better than that. We need to make more young voters. How do we do that? Well, our professor Shangshan Hillegas has this theory that voting is a habitual thing. It means that if you, before even young people become eligible to vote, before they turn 18, if we can make them in certain ways, such as having them take more civic courses to learn about their citizenship duty, or having them vote in the student government election, or even do pre-registration and registration drives before they actually vote, they're going to be more likely to show up in the voting poll. So to test this theory, we try to figure out what's already out there. We conducted a survey of 571 high schools in North Carolina. Out of the half of them which responded to us, we see only 39% of high schools in NC conducted voter registration drives, which is supposedly really important for increased young voter turnout, while the NC state law requires the registration form be made available to all students. And another finding for this map, so this is where we are, Durham and Wake County, right? We see that for regions, for counties like us, which is very competitive in the election, this is 2016 election, the less blue and less red they get, the more likely they have a school that, the school in this region have a more likely chance to actually carry out those registration drives. Having civic courses is also another very important component in the theory to increase young people's turnout. So we can see here from this survey that the majority of the high school do not offer the civic courses beyond the state requirement. We can see on this bar chart that 1 out of 2 high school students graduating from North Carolina high school will not have an adequate foundation beyond the civic and economic courses they take to enhance their ability to their civic responsibility. So this is pretty concerning.
Another aspect of this particular study was qualitative interviews with teachers, social study teachers in the Durham area to see what they thought about civic education and youth voter turnout. So after those, and the insights we discerned from those, we made a word cloud, which you can see here. 3 words that stand out are democracy, duty, and citizenship. Ultimately, these teachers shared the opinion that civic education and social studies education in general is key in order to drive voter turnout. They also talked about various factors that might affect voter turnout among teens that has nothing to do with the classroom, such as parental involvement, Trump's election, and social media. But ultimately, we use their thoughts in terms of guiding our future surveys. Last aspect of this project is the demo. So what we're doing next, and beginning next year, we're going to be conducting demonstrations in classrooms in order to register voters and pre-register voters. In the state of North Carolina, if you're 16, you can pre-register to vote, which means that when you turn 18, you're automatically registered. So what we're doing is going into classrooms, explaining to high school students ages 16 and up why it's important to vote, and what that civic duty ultimately means, and then registering or pre-registering them to vote so that when they turn 18, they'll have the opportunity to vote. Ultimately, we'll see whether or not this works in terms of driving youth voter turnout overall. We'd like to thank our team, and thank you all for listening.